Testing. Okay, cool. Hi guys, it's Aghogho and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to the gang, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you guys are doing well. Please let me know in the comments how you've been, how you're holding up. If you've been bad, tell me you're bad. I can advise you. If you've been good, tell me you're good so I can celebrate with you, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, as you can see by the title of this video, we are celebrating today. Hallelujah, praise God. So I'm sharing the testimony of getting into medicine after 6 attempts. 6 attempts, bro. Oh my days. In 7 years, it could only be God. I'm still in shock, honestly speaking. I actually had my orientation this week and everything still just feels so surreal. Like I'm like, is this actually happening? Am I tripping, or is this actually happening? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah guys, to the glory of God, we are here. And yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a heck of a freaking journey, but we finally made it. And I'm gonna try and keep this video short and sweet. So essentially, I have wanted medicine for a long time. I literally remember like being like maybe 7 or 8 and having this list of things that I'm interested in becoming when I'm older, and this list was not accurate, right, of reality, but as kids do, I was a dreamer, right? So I had on that list astronaut, ballerina, doctor, lawyer. I had all of these different things, right? And I wasn't too sure what it exactly was that I wanted. But when I was in secondary school, I had a friend, her name was actually Shannon. Shout out to Shannon if you're watching this. And she told me about, basically she wanted to become an oncologist. And I remember being like, what is that? What's an oncologist? And she was basically like a doctor that takes care of cancer patients and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I literally remember going home that day, going on my laptop and essentially checking what an oncologist was, what they would do, the pay involved, like everything. And then I started going deeper into the search of like different types of doctors, and I started being like, this doesn't sound too bad. And that's where my interest in medicine began. And I don't really know how I can't really remember how it went off from there, but I just remember I suddenly became very passionate about this thing. And it was like, I want to do this, because I already knew, for me, science was my absolute favorite subject ever. Shout out to Miss Dempsey of Sacred Heart, because she was absolutely instrumental in my journey to medicine. If not for her, I would have never loved science. If not for loving science, I would have never decided I wanted to pursue studying medicine. And yeah, I guess the journey began from there. So when I was in my 3rd year of secondary school, which would be when I was around like 15 years old, I started essentially preparing for medicine because I wanted to get into colleges in the UK. I was looking at Cambridge, KCL, UCL, all of these type of colleges. I was mainly looking at colleges in London. I think I also applied to Manchester though. But in order to apply to the UK, I had to basically start preparing early, right? Especially because it was medicine I wanted to apply to. So the journey like started essentially in 2015. Bear in mind, it is currently 2022. That's 7 years ago, guys. 7 years ago. But yeah, the journey started then, and I started doing like my personal statement. I had to do work experience to apply to the UK because they wanted to see evidence that you've done placements in hospitals. And I remember how hard that was, because in Ireland that's not a thing. In Ireland, for Irish medical schools, you just go in, like essentially you sit an exam. There's no interviews involved, no personal statement. It's basically like if you have the grades, you go in. So it was a different system for the UK. I went to a hospital in Dublin and I basically did a placement in a cardiology department. So I shadowed a doctor there for a week, and that really confirmed to me that, oh my gosh, I really love this and I really want to do this. I essentially did 2 exams when I was around like 15, 16 years old. I did the BMAT and the UKCAT. So those 2 are required for UK medical schools. The BMAT was because I was applying to Cambridge and maybe UCL, I can't remember the other college that needed that, and then the UKCAT was for the rest of them. Long story short, I didn't get them, and I remember being crushed, but at the same time I was like, it's cool, I'll get into medical school in Ireland, it's fine. Even though I was so set on going to the UK, I decided, you know what, it's fine, Irish medical school will be grand instead. So I started preparing for Irish med school exams, which we called the HPAT. Basically, I had the HPAT to prepare for while I was in 6th year, which was extremely intense. Because I had done a lot of preparation for the other 2 UK exams, the HPAT was similar enough preparation, but also very unsimilar. Like, oh my gosh, anybody who's ever done the HPAT and anybody who's ever done section 3 of the HPAT will know what I am talking about. Like, it was intense, okay? It was freaking intense. And again, I didn't get it. I literally remember seeing my HPAT score. This was like 1 week before the CAO, so like the basically admissions office in Ireland was closing. So I had 1 week essentially to make up my mind as to whether I still think I'm gonna get medicine based on this result, or whether I don't think I will. And based on the result I got for the HPAT, I knew I wasn't getting into medicine. It was one of the worst days of my life at the time. I felt like my world was crashing down. I literally remember being in the corner of this room crying my eyes out because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna get into medicine. What am I gonna do? I didn't have any backup plan. I didn't have any other course I wanted to study. That was all I wanted. Medicine was what my eyes were focused on. I had tunnel vision on it. So when I didn't get admission, after the 3rd time I was sitting in exam, I was just like, yo, like, I remember crying out to God, like, but I prayed to you, I asked you, is this what you want from me? I asked you if medicine is what you want me to study. And I felt like, you know, I should go ahead with it. So I was so upset, like so deeply disappointed. And I remember, yeah, I had a week to make up my mind on what course I was gonna change my CAO form to. I ended up looking through all the college prospectuses that I had collected from Higher Options, so basically from this careers fair, like this school leaving fair. And I looked at the UCD pamphlet, I looked at the Trinity one, I looked at DCU's one, I looked at all the different ones, and I put down any course essentially that I found similar to medicine. That's why I ended up doing biomedical health and life sciences at UCD, because to me it was the closest thing that I could see to medicine. I was also choosing between that and human health and disease in Trinity, but I decided that I wanted to go to UCD. So yeah, I started at UCD and went into 1st year. It was completely like, it was intense. And of course, lo and behold, I decided to take the HPAT again in my 1st year of college. I did it in February of my 1st year of college, and bruh, tell me how I'm doing this exam for the 2nd time and I'm getting a lower mark than I did for the 1st. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Because I do not know how that happened, yeah? Like, oh my gosh, I remember literally just being like, yeah, this clearly isn't for me. How is it that I've sat this again and I still didn't get it? 4th time doing an exam. 4th time, okay? I was just like, yo, what is this? I decided that I wanted to go for dentistry instead, because I was like, you know, dentistry and medicine are similar enough. So I remember applying to the CAO again during my 1st year of college to transfer, like get into dentistry in Trinity, because I actually had enough points to get into it. Like when I did my Leaving Cert, I got enough points to get me into dentistry. So I was like, cool, I'll just apply and I'll get in next year. Tell me why. September of that year comes, CAO offers come out, and I don't get an offer for dentistry. I missed it by 1 point. 1 point. Because in my Leaving Cert, I got 589 points. Dentistry, the year I entered college, so the year I started biomedical health and life sciences, dentistry was 589 points. The next year, the year I actually reapplied to try and get into dentistry this time, dentistry was 590 points. I said, Abaya, what is this? You get me? Like I literally just remember being like, what type of life is this? I literally remember I had friends in my course who weren't even interested in doing medicine, but I encouraged them, no, take the HPAT again. A lot of us are doing it and you might get in. And some of those people got it. So some of those people who had no intention of studying medicine ended up getting in, and I was just like, what type of life do I have? Like, honestly speaking, I was just like, what's going on? But yeah, I gave up on medicine for a while, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was just like, clearly this isn't for me. I had experienced failure 4 different times on trying to enter, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know about this anymore. So yeah, I let go of the dream for a while, like, and I was basically having like almost an existential crisis at one point. I was like, what am I meant to do? I don't even know what I want to do with my life anymore. I don't know what career I want. The course I'm in, I love it, but I know I don't want to work in it. I don't want to work like exclusively in science. I don't want to work in labs and stuff. So I literally just remember being so confused as to what I was supposed to do and everything. Yeah, basically I gave up on it for a while. Fast forward to 2020. I'm in my 3rd year of college. Actually, I've just finished my 3rd year of college. It is summer and I hear God speak to me. I was praying one day and I hear God speak to me, and he says, sit to the GAMSAT and I will make you pass with flying colors. And I was like, who is sitting another one of those admissions exams again, please? And who is sitting the GAMSAT? That 8-9 hour exam, I was like, please miss me with that. And honestly speaking, I'm being so honest with you guys, I was very stubborn, very disobedient, because I was just like, I've already given up on this medicine thing. I'm actually done with it. I'm not doing it anymore. I literally remember telling my dad at the time, and he was like, just think about it, like, you never know. He wouldn't force me, but he was just encouraging me not to give up. But I had already reached that stage where I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm actually not doing this. And yeah, like, so when God said it to me, I was just like, nope. But the burden would not leave me. I kept feeling like this is what he wants me to do. I knew he was speaking to me, and I was just like, I remember literally paying for the exam maybe 2 days before the deadline for payment. That's how reluctant I was to sit this exam. And yeah, so fast forward a few months, I paid for the exam maybe in August or something, or July, I can't remember exactly when. The exam was in October. I did not study for it. I barely did anything. Like, I literally have a notebook in there somewhere that shows all of the study I did for it, and because I was dating it like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. I think I reached day 12 max, like 12 days of study, and it was all half-ass study. Nothing was serious, like nothing was, I wasn't taking it seriously because I didn't want to do the exam. And I was kind of like, God, you know, if you're the one who said this to me, then you're gonna have to make me pass no matter what, and that's how I'll know it's you. I basically said to God, you better make this work because I'm not sitting it again, which is very disrespectful of me and cheeky of me, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I sat the exam. That day was such a terrible day in terms of the exam. Like, my laptop wasn't working, the proctoring, like, software that they were using to monitor me wasn't working. I was crying. Basically, the 2 days I sat that exam, I was literally crying on both days because I was like, what on earth is this? But I kind of thought, you know, because the day went so badly, maybe the enemy was just really fighting me and God will surprise me with the result, right? So when the results came out, I was confused because the score I got, it wasn't terrible, but it was also like, this is not what I define as flying colors, and God, you told me I would pass with flying colors, so what's going on here? But the score I got was still enough to get me into one of the colleges in Ireland, or so I thought, because that score would have been enough that year. The year I sat the exam, basically, that was the cutoff mark for people to enter into that college. So I was like, cool, next year, because I was applying, I was using that score for the next year. Next year, I'll be fine, right? So next year came, and offers day come. I remember working, I was in a pharmacy at the time, and I checked my phone, no offer, checked my email, no offer, went into CAO, no offer. I was thinking maybe they've delayed offers or something, but nope, I just didn't get any. I remember being distraught. I went on the bus home. I basically found this PDF that showed the cutoff mark for all of the different colleges that offer medicine, and my points weren't enough to get me into any of them. Bear in mind, this was after I had already bought furniture to move out. I had already told many people that I was getting in and that I was basically going away and moving and stuff like that. I had plans, like everything. I did not have a plan B. I was so sure that, you know, if God said it, then I'm getting in. That's it. And I didn't have enough. So it was really hard. 2021 was a really hard year for me, not gonna lie. It was tough. Things got worse even for me after that, and I remember just looking at my life and being like this is just so unfair. I have nothing, I have stability and nothing anymore. I was basically launched into a gap year with no prior warning, no preparation, no mental preparation, nothing. I was just pushed into a gap year like that. And yeah, it was really tough. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I lost my dad later on that year as well. A lot of things went wrong, but I'm not gonna lie, after losing my dad, I told myself, because I know how much my dad wanted me to see me enter medicine. He never told me to do it myself, but he knew how much I wanted it, and because of that, he was so for my dreams. Like, he was like, you can do this, I don't want you to give up and everything. So when I lost my dad, I kind of told myself that this is the final honor I can give him. This is one honor I know I can give him by not giving up on this dream to enter medicine. And yeah, I sat the exam again. The exam that I had told God before I'm never sitting more than once. I sat it again, basically 4 months after losing my dad, which is only by God's grace. Like, I don't know how I sat that exam with the amount of stuff I was going through at the time, how I even studied for it. I did start studying for it, and I took study for this a lot more serious than I did the first time around. But yeah, it's only by God's grace that I was even able to study for it in the first place, like, considering everything that I was going through. On top of that, I actually had COVID when I was doing my exam. I didn't know until the night after. Basically, the night of my exam, I started feeling really run down and whatever. Terrible headache. I said, let me take a COVID test for BANT, because I had never had COVID before. Took the COVID test. Basically, this was after the exam, by the way, and I realized I had COVID. I didn't even know. I wasn't presenting any symptoms until literally when the exam was over. So it's a testimony in itself that I passed that exam after losing my dad with COVID in my body and all of the stuff that was going on. And I remember when the results came for it. No, do you know what? Before I even talk about the results, one of the things that I actually noticed, was this time that I sat the exam, I actually had a different mentality. I was okay with failing. In the past, the reason why I didn't want to sit the exam before, when God initially spoke to me, it was because I had a deep fear of failure. It wasn't just stubbornness. I was afraid. I was like, I've already sat 4 medical exams and I've done badly in all of them. Why should I try again? I was ready to settle and to just let go of this dream. But the last time I sat the exam, in March 2022, I had the mentality of, do you know what? If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it doesn't go well, I'll try again. I literally was like, if I fail, it's fine. I'll actually try again. I had let go of this need for things to go my way. I essentially had let go of control. And I find it so ironic that it was the time that I let go that finally it was released to me. So a few months later, I got the results of the exam and I found out that I had enough to get into medical school. I didn't know which medical school. I thought maybe the lowest, the one that requires the lowest points, but I knew that I had enough to get me an offer or get me a place or whatever. And then fast forward to August, offers came out, and to my deepest surprise, I saw that I got an offer to go to UCD to study medicine. And I still remember the shock I was in. I still remember how I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. I have dreamt of this day that I would see an offer on my phone saying medicine, but I never thought it would come. And I think it's very bittersweet that my dad is not here to see this day come, as much as I know he would have loved to. But I am glad that I didn't give up on it, and I know that he is proud where he is. And I'm just so grateful to God, because he was faithful to his word. He told me to sit the exam and I would pass with flying colors, and it wasn't according to my timing, but it was according to his. I ended up sitting the exam and I passed with flying colors, just as he said, way beyond my expectations, and I got into medicine. So you are looking at a fresh medical student. But yeah, guys, I'm filled with so much joy because this has been my dream for the longest time, and I'm just so grateful to God, even for his timing. Not gonna lie, it took 7 years, but now that I am where I am, I understand completely why it had to happen that way. Honestly speaking, if I had gotten medicine a year ago when I wanted it so badly, I would not have been able to cope when my dad died. I would not have been able to cope with a lot of other situations that arose in my life in the space of the past year. And now I understand the importance of God's timing. Now I choose to trust in God's timing. When I didn't get medicine in when I did my Leaving Cert, so 2017, when I didn't get it the first time and I was crying in the corner of my room, I didn't realize that I needed to go through a process during my undergraduate degree, biomed. There were things that I could not have done during those years if I was studying medicine. I wouldn't have become the president of the AfroSoc. I wouldn't have met certain people that I met. I wouldn't have made certain friends that I made that are now lifelong friends. And I understand finally why at times God says my timing is better than yours. And so yeah, that's my testimony. We made it. We started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. I hope this testimony can encourage somebody to know that if you have a dream, do not give up on it. Keep chasing after it. Just push. Even if discouragement comes, motivate yourself, push yourself. Do not see failure as a defining moment in your life. No, failure is something to be embraced, because it means that there is something that we ought to learn, something we need to discover, something we need to go through, people we need to experience, places we need to visit. It means that there are certain things that failure is really protecting us from. And we won't understand that if we just give up and let go of it and just choose a different path altogether. So yeah, I hope somebody who watches this, I hope I'm even making sense, but I hope somebody who's watching this can be encouraged that if you don't get it the first time, try again. If you don't get it the second time, try again. Or if you're like me, if you don't get it the 5th time, try again, because you might be 6 times lucky. 6 times lucky. So on my 6th attempt in 7 years, I finally got into medicine, and I just want to say praise be to God, hallelujah. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching my testimony. I think I'm gonna actually start vlogging my med school journey, so yeah, that's exciting. If you guys would be interested in seeing those type of vlogs, please comment below. Any type of videos you want, please comment below. And if anybody even wants advice in regard to sitting the GAMSAT or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me, or preferably, you know, in the comments, and I can give you a response there. But yeah, guys, I am super grateful to God, and also grateful to you for watching this whole video if you did. So yeah, guys, thank you so much, and I'm wishing you all a lovely, amazing, fantastic, beautiful, great day. Yeah, I'm so excited for the journey that I have ahead, and I hope it is as beautiful as I have spent years anticipating. I hope that the pain and the hurt and the failure and the disappointment that I experienced will prove to be worth it. You know, I hope it will all prove to be worth it, and this will be essentially one of the best experiences of my life. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the testimony. Have an amazing day. Bye.